didn't fall asleep, did you?
Nah. Me? I heard every word of it. It's a beautiful story. About a creature. A magic one. Who lives in the lake.
And?
And it grants you wishes. If you write it on a piece of paper, put it in a bottle and throw it in the turtle lake.
Actually, it sounded like it was about a kissing booth run by witches that pray to their god Danny, the townspeople forced to write up their wills and drink themselves to sleep in fear. But hey, props to Max for understanding any of that. Welcome, dear viewers, to Power Rangers Wild Force. So yeah, it's been a while since the last history of Power Rangers. As such, I need to address a couple of things that have cropped up. Yes, I'm aware of the David Yost interview. Yes, I'm aware Power Rangers Samurai is coming to Nickelodeon in 2011. Yes, I will continue to do History of Power Rangers through that series once it concludes. Now, many of you have been very patient in waiting for these videos, and for that I'm very grateful. Others of you have not been so patient to the point where I'm actually taking time out of this review to talk about it. Let me say this once again, since apparently it was not made clear when this video series began. History of Power Rangers has no set schedule. The videos are done when they're done, and will be released when they're done. In case you haven't noticed, I've been more than a little busy the last few months. If you haven't noticed, wake up already! I attended Power Morphicon, FallCon, did a very complicated ending to an episode of Atop the Fourth Wall, released additional videos in October beyond my regular workload, did my regular workload, which consists of an episode of Atop the Fourth Wall every week despite conventions and other difficulties, one of those difficulties being moving into an apartment. In addition to that, people don't seem to realize how much work actually goes into these videos. Here's the process. I watch the entire series, which, for those of you at home, is around 40 episodes at 20 minutes each. That's roughly 13 hours straight if I was watching them all in one day, which I'm not. Oh, but it gets better, because I also am writing up a synopsis of the important plot points of the season, as well as writing down character notes, themes, etc., which means I'm pausing the episodes so I can write. Once the season is completed, I have to finish my notes and analysis, and then I watch the next season and repeat the process. Yes, I had to finish watching Ninja Storm before I recorded the Wild Force review. Why? So I don't let my immediate feelings about it be the ones that I write. I give it time to settle and see how much of it is memorable. It helps the analysis and judgment of the series. And on top of all of that, I then have to record it and edit it all down to a few videos for your consumption. And oh yes, I need to also have my own life outside of it. So when will the next History of Power Rangers be out? When it's done. I'm sorry if I'm coming across as ungrateful or needlessly angry, since I'm not. I love that you all care about this series, and I'm doing everything in my power to get it done. But it's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. Asking me when the next one is going to come is not making it get done any faster. I have warned you all before that I'm in unfamiliar territory now, and it's harder for me to skip through stuff that I've never seen before. And I appreciate offers of people to point out what's filler and what isn't, but I have to make that evaluation for myself. And please, please, please avoid spoilers or telling me, skip this season, it sucks. It's History of Power Rangers, not History of Power Rangers, except for this season or this season. Every season will be watched, everything evaluated, everything will be given a fair chance to impress or disappoint. Like I said, I haven't watched these seasons before, and I want the chance to be surprised by things that happen. Stop telling me what's going to happen. You're only going to piss me off. The thing is, I want to have fun while I'm doing this. Constantly badgering me for the next videos does not equal fun. It makes it a chore for me, and if it becomes a chore for me, I will be disinclined to work on it. And with all of that said, let's get to Wild Force already. I'll get into this more next season, but there's a bit of behind-the-scenes cleanup to deal with for this one. A common question about this season is whether it counts as a Saban-era Power Ranger series or a Disney-era one. For the purposes of this video, I do not care in the slightest. While it's true that the production team for Power Rangers stayed pretty consistent from Turbo through Time Force, there are a number of factors that go into the making of a television series, from writers to directors to producers to composers to actors and etc. etc. The point is, I refuse to get into a pissing match about who was better or worse, Saban or Disney. If I find a series to be lacking, there have to be numerous contributing factors to that. Is Wild Force a Disney or Saban product? It doesn't really matter. But if I really have to choose, from a technical standpoint, yes, Disney did about 99% of everything on this one since it had purchased it while Saban had only done preliminary production work. But spiritually, it's still a Saban season to me. This is the last season before the production moved to New Zealand, which ironically bans the airing of Power Rangers, and it has several connections to previous seasons, both in its annual team-up as well as the 10th anniversary episode. But frankly, it doesn't matter. This is Power Rangers Wild Force, and that is all that is important about that subject. The season begins with Lionheart, and the show's format has stopped using a teaser, something they had been using since Turbo. This season is the first season where the Zords are mostly CG, for better or worse, and the first season without a Pink Ranger, swapping out with White. It should be noted that about 90% of the CGI was from the original Sentai, Gao Ranger, so it's not like Wild Force is to blame for the CG Zords. Also, let me say right off the bat, I love the Wild Force theme song. While the theme songs have had to grow on me in the last few seasons, Wild Force I loved from the first time I heard it. It isn't a Ron Wasserman creation, but I thought it might have been at first. It's very energetic, catchy, and it easily got me excited for the show.
Power Rangers flying higher, go! Wild Force running faster, Wild Force! Power Rangers stick together, go! We will save the world! Wild Force, Power Rangers! Let's fight forever! Wild Force, Power Rangers! Protect this world together!
We open to a jungle where we see our Red Ranger, Cole Evans. Yes, I'm serious. This is the new Red Ranger. And he's talking to a monkey. He's brought to a ceremony by the other tribespeople of the jungle, which is inducted by James Earl Jones.
Cole, here you have lived since before you could walk, and we have always treated you as one of our own. But the time has come for you to follow your own life path. And by the way, this is CNN.
The guy gives him a photograph and a red sphere that they found along with him when he was a baby and say it's time to send him off into the outside world, for some reason. We cut to a city, Turtle Cove, where a monster fights off a group of rangers. The animal focus of this team gives them some new abilities, like the Blue Shark Ranger being able to fight underwater, and the Yellow Ranger, based on an eagle, being able to fly. The monster, aided by another, manages to get away and the rangers demorph.
Man, those guys are strong. Danny, you okay?
Yeah, it's just that we've never seen two orgs together. Something's changed.
Yeah, I can feel it. We need a fifth ranger.
Calm down, guys. I say we're doing just fine the way we are.
The rangers refer to the monsters as orgs and that they're shocked that two of them were together at once. Meanwhile, Cole arrives in the city, asking random passerbys about the people in the photograph. That night, he sees a dog getting taken by a van owned by a laboratory and follows it. He frees all the caged test animals. From above, he's watched by a woman in white who contacts the rangers. When the two lab people see a monster flying overhead, they see it as a sign that their master has returned, and they transform into the henchmen of the series, Jindrax and Toxica. The next morning, Cole wakes up with the other rangers standing over him and telling him that he needs to come with them. While three of the rangers are excitable and kind of creepy about wanting him to come with them, the Yellow Ranger just punches him in the stomach and tells him he's been drafted. Man, just imagine if Zordon had recruited the original 5 like this.
You have been chosen to form an elite group of heroes to fight Rita. And if you don't join up, Alpha will kick your asses until you do.
They bring the unconscious Cole to a floating island above the clouds called the Animarium, where their Zords roam freely, kind of like the Galactabeasts. Cole is able to understand the Lion Sword and his red orb glows. After walking some more, he meets the woman in white, named Princess Shayla.
You have been chosen to be leader of the Power Rangers Wild Force.
Why is he the leader? The others introduce themselves finally. Alyssa with the tiger, Danny with the bison, Max with the shark, and Punch Rockfist, aka Taylor, with the eagle. The other 4 also have the little soap orbs with plastic Zords inside of them, and Shayla explains that he's been chosen to fight the orgs. As a monster attack begins, the Rangers head out to a dam to fight them.
Take this growl phone. Do as we do.
I don't understand.
Don't worry. You will. Wild access!
Wild access!
Wild Force, Power Rangers, we'll protect this world together. Wild Force, Power Rangers.
Okay, a couple of things to comment on in rapid succession, so I'll get the first thing out of the way since that's what you're watching. I like the fight scene here showcasing their styles matching their animals. The claws at the end of their hands are kinda silly, but hey, it's Power Rangers. The suits themselves? Awesome. The helmet design goes really well with their animals and feels reminiscent of the Mighty Morphin days. The primary colors to the suits are well focused, and while the gold diagonal sash across them is an odd design aesthetic, it does work. The morphing sequence is a direct translation of the original Sentai's and is pretty badass. That being said, I hate the Growl Morphers. This is the first and sadly will not be the last series to use cell phones as the morphers, and it is stupid. Admittedly, the basic wrist strap morpher was kind of getting a little boring when Time Force was just kind of waving their fingers across the morpher. You know they're not trying anymore. But the idea that a common everyday item is a morpher is just sad. The morphers should be unique devices, something you wouldn't normally see all the time on the streets. It makes the Rangers all the more special. They have been given these awesome gifts to help save mankind. Pulling out cell phones to morph makes me fear that at some point that the morphing sequence is going to get interrupted by someone calling them up and saying that they just texted about how Zed was such a noob. Anyway, the Rangers defeat one of the orgs and the other retreats, being intercepted by Toxica and Jindrax. It says that they're Duke orgs and cause it to grow. Cole decides to leap right at the org, but then gets smacked back down. You just know it would have worked if Carter had done it. By combining their orbs with their swords, they summon the Wild Zords. The downside to CGI Zords is that it can sometimes lead to very unconvincing fights, as we saw with the first Power Rangers movie. However, in this case it works. The fight is fast-paced, the music pretty good, and the sound effects convincing.
And so the journey begins. Destiny has brought 5 young people together, and now they set out on their wild adventure.
Who the hell was talking? Lionheart is a decent start to the season, but it leaves a lot to be desired. We don't get a lot of focus on the Rangers other than Cole, and you don't really get an idea about what exactly the Rangers are doing from the first episode. Comparatively, Lightspeed Rescue's goal was to eliminate the demons and prevent them from restoring Banshira's palace, said right away in the first episode. Time Force's goal was to recapture Rancic and the other mutants and bring them back to the future. Wild Force's goal is purportedly to defeat the Orgs, but we know very little about the Orgs, where they came from, why they're attacking, and who their leader is. It's not that the episode is bad, it just feels a little incomplete. As we continue, Cole contemplates whether there's another way to stop the Orgs besides fighting them. The other Rangers speculate that the Orgs must be getting help since none of them had grown so large before. Jindrax and Toxica head into caverns underneath the city and meet their boss, Master Org.
Where have you two been?
After surviving the great battle, we took human form and have roamed the earth since, trying to carry on your evil work.
We're so happy you're alive, Master.
Your master has returned. The time has come.
There's something different about him. He feels just as evil, but his appearance...
insipid planet.
So maybe he's put on a few years. You know, you're not spring orc yourself.
What?
But you don't look a day over 1,000.
In the Nexus for thousands of years. We will have our revenge.
The two are dispatched to find the latest Org while the Rangers head out for it. Cole says the Orgs may just be like animals that are lost and confused, and there may be a way of reasoning with them. Alyssa explains that he doesn't really know what he's talking about.
Look, Max and I have only been Rangers for about 6 months. Danny only 2. You, well, Taylor, she's been one for over a year. She knows these Orgs.
Man, Shayla's been kind of slow on the whole recruiting process. The Orgs summon up the foot soldiers of the seasons, Putrids, which are essentially cavemen. Cole and Alyssa head in, Cole getting face-to-face with the Org.
Every living thing has a heart. If I can just connect to it, there's a chance.
Cole, don't!
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Not gonna hurt me.
I can't hear anything. You don't have a heart.
And you don't have a brain!
Ouch, score 1 for the Org. It tells him that Orgs exist only to destroy and wreak havoc before it beats the two up. Cole is flabbergasted by the revelation that something without a heart could exist, and he realizes that fighting is the only way. Toxica and Jindrax show up and reveal themselves to the Rangers, Toxica displaying her skills as a sorceress by using peanuts to make the Org grow. They summon their Zords and form the Wild Force Megazord. The cockpit's a bit different, but matching with a more naturalistic feel instead of more technological ones. Or in the case of Time Force, using swords to pilot it. The two Duke Orcs return to Master Org, who gives a little speech.
While the Rangers rest from their hollow victory, they have no idea that the forces which will destroy them grow stronger and stronger with each passing moment. Soon, they shall feel the wrath of 3,000 years of vengeance!
Cole gets cleaned up and given a bath. Man, this team is a bit touchy-feely, isn't it? And they give him his spiffy team jacket, but he rips the sleeves to make a bandana like he had before. In the next episode, technically a filler, we get some more character development in the form of Cole laughing off the Ranger Rulebook, which I imagine is more of a procedural system than actual rules given the size of that binder, and saying that the only rule they need is teamwork. Shayla gives the background of the Animarium, conveniently juxtaposed with a mother reading to her son from a storybook the exact same story. This is a profoundly stupid way of providing exposition, since the whole background of your series shouldn't be available from the children's book department.
Long, long time ago, 3,000 years to be exact, there existed a peaceful paradise where beautiful plants grew.
Animals and humans coexisted side by side. Everyone lived in harmony. This was the kingdom of Animaria. Humans and animals honored each other, and everyone respected the importance of nature. There was nothing but joy and beauty in all our lives. But then was suddenly shattered when a great evil emerged from underground, sending destruction across the land. He was Master Org. He attacked nature and humanity alike with his vile toxins. Ancient warriors fought bravely against the evil orcs, allowing me to escape with the help of my protector. He took me to the temple in the Valley of the Wild Swords. Wait! There, protected by your 5 animal guardians, I entered a long suspended sleep, waiting for the time when the world would need us once again. Then, the ancient warriors lifted the entire valley up into the sky, creating a safe haven called Animarium. Finally, the ancient warriors destroyed the Master Org and entombed the remaining leaders of the orcs where they remained until now. But over the years, humans have allowed the world to become polluted.
Oh boy, here we go.
The earth has become so weakened that the evil orcs can rise again.
You know, that jungle that Cole was living in looked pretty damn pristine. Speaking of, here's the explanation for why Cole is leader.
As the lion is king of the jungle, so is his chosen ranger.
Really? That's the reason? Geez, maybe we do need that ranger rulebook.
Mommy, is it real? Is there really Animarian?
No, honey, it's only a story.
Will you read it again? Please read it again.
Yeah, Mommy, tell me more about the horrible destruction of the perfect paradise. Alyssa, while on a field trip with her class to an archaeological site, uncovers a seal with the Rangers' animals on it while hearing an elephant. Alyssa and Cole take Princess Shayla to it, wanting to see if she recognizes it. However, Master Org senses it and kidnaps the princess. When Shayla says she can't release the trapped animal since the animal spirit needs to choose its guardian, Master Org blasts the seal. However, when Alyssa touches the rock face, she's given a new orb that she can put in her sword, releasing the elephant sword. Shayla explains that there were many power animals in the past, but only 5 came into the Animarium. That means there could be more waiting to be discovered. One night, Toxica thinks she smells a human in the caverns, and as she investigates, she sees Master Org apparently able to move the horn on his head. Next, the Rangers retrieve a giraffe, that for some reason was hiding in the water, for Max. In the following episode, we see a flashback from Taylor about how, as an Air Force pilot, she discovered her Eagle Zord and crashed on the floating Animarium, awakening Princess Shayla. She also apparently let everyone believe she was dead. Kind of a bummer, especially since we never get an explanation of why she doesn't tell anyone she's alive, though it does explain why she can be so grouchy. Subsequently, she also retrieves 2 new animal Zords at the same time, a black bear that controls fire, and a polar bear that controls ice. While in a forest, Cole encounters Master Org.
You're the one responsible for all this destruction.
Impressive, isn't it?
It's not impressive. It's pathetic. You're nothing but a coward.
I fear nothing. It is you who should be in fear.
Ouch. As Cole gets tossed around, the photo of his parents drops to the ground. Master Org takes it, and we get a flashback of Cole's parents fleeing from someone who looks like Master Org. Cole's father saying that he must have taken the seeds. The flashback ends with Cole's parents being killed and revealing that the baby was hidden away. Cole also retrieves another Zord, a gorilla. With the gorilla, they're able to form a new Megazord, the Conga Zord. The main story continues in Curse of the Wolf. Master Org dispatches a monster, General Nazor, to unlock another Duke Org, one extraordinarily faster and stronger than the Rangers.
I am the Duke Org, Zenaku.
It freezes the Elephant Zord's orb and takes it, walking off and swearing revenge for being locked away for 3,000 years. Toxica states that there's something unusually familiar about Zenaku. Zenaku makes it clear that he works for no one.
My only goal is revenge against the Rangers.
We see Zenaku have flashbacks about his fight with the 5 ancient warriors, though he apparently can't remember all the details, including how he came to look like he does. Zenaku also heals an injured Alyssa while she's unconscious, though attacks the Rangers when they're reunited. They morph and fight Zenaku, managing to force him back a little.
And only we can use the power of the animal crystals, not some orgs.
Are you so certain only you possess crystals?
He summons the Hammerhead Shark, Alligator, and Wolf Dark Zords using a flute, very reminiscent of Tommy's Dragon Dagger. While the Rangers fight Zenaku, the Wild Zords face their Dark counterparts. Despite superior numbers and firepower, the Dark Zords are simply too much for the Wild Zords. Toxica suddenly recalls there being a wolf at the final battle 3,000 years ago. Shayla gives backstory on the Dark Zords, that they used to be good, but Zenaku was so powerful that he made them do evil deeds. The Dark Zords, in turn, can combine to make his own Megazord, the Predazord. I will say the Predazord looks more than a little silly with a big-ass gator head sticking out of its chest. Though what's especially silly is that the thing can flatten out, so why does it bother making it stick out when it first forms? In the aftermath of the battle, Zenaku takes the crystal for the Giraffe Zord. Toxica talks with Zenaku and mentions how it must be difficult to work with Master Org after what happened 3,000 years ago, but Zenaku doesn't know what she's talking about. In the battle that follows with the Rangers, Zenaku is able to summon the Elephant and Giraffe Zords to his side, even able to combine them with the Predazord as the Rangers could. Shayla heads down to where Zenaku was released, attempting to get more information about him. Zenaku kidnaps her when he recognizes the necklace she's wearing.
Where did you get that necklace, Princess? And why do you wear it?
Someone very special gave it to me a long time ago. I wear it in memory of that person.
Zenaku doesn't know why he remembers it. In the ensuing battle, Shayla is rescued, but the Bear Zords are taken. Though more interestingly, Shayla notices that Zenaku was bleeding. As more of Zenaku's memories return, he recalls seeing some sort of shining Megazord. During his next Zord battle with the Rangers, the shining Megazord appears in the sky and speaks, telling him to remember. Shayla recognizes it as a being called Animus.
That was Animus, ancestor of the Wild Force Megazord. He fought in the Battle of Animaria 3,000 years ago. I don't know why he would speak to Zenaku. Before, he would only speak to the 6 warriors.
Six warriors?
Yeah, what the hell, Shayla? Every other time she mentioned them, it was only 5. Zenaku gets infected with an insect that rewrites his memories, while the Rangers speculate about how nothing seems to add up about Zenaku, and Shayla brings up his bleeding. Taylor suggests that maybe he's actually human. Zenaku hands over the Rangers' Zords to General Nazor. Shayla talks to the other Rangers and says that Animus came to her in a vision and explained what happened 3,000 years ago after Master Org was defeated by the ancient warriors. Apparently Zenaku was the 6th warrior named Merrick, who had tricked Master Org somehow using the wolf mask. However, the wolf mask was cursed and he couldn't remove it, and it was causing him to become evil. He begged the other warriors to destroy him, but instead they sealed him away. Combining several clues together, the Rangers realize that the moon is what's powering the wolf mask. They fight Zenaku, but are unable to convince him of the truth, partially thanks to the bug in his head. However, before he makes the killing stroke, Animus casts a shadow over the moon to block it. With the moon fully eclipsed, he reverts back to Merrick. Merrick gives more details about why he became Zenaku. Animus was destroyed by Master Org, and Merrick took it upon himself to wear the cursed wolf mask of Zenaku, and used its power to destroy Master Org. When they inform him that Shayla is awake, he tries to tell them how to break the curse, but the shadow falls from the moon and he becomes Zenaku again. Shayla realizes that the true way to break the curse is to destroy the Predazord. Don't know how the heck she reaches that conclusion, but I guess it's more convenient than trying to keep the moon blocked. In order to make the plot resolve as quickly as possible, the Bison Zord contacts Danny and gives him 2 more animal crystals, the Armadillo and Rhino Zords. Gotta love plot convenience Playhouse. They combine the new Zords together and... oh, you've gotta be kidding me. I'll let this scene speak for itself.
What?
This plot was going really well up until this point. It was tense, it was moving towards a logical resolution, and then, bam! 2 Zords out of nowhere and soccer stadium. Heck, I wouldn't even care much about it being used like a soccer ball if not for the CGI cheering stadium. It's a very rushed and nonsensical end to the Zenaku plot. Anyway, Predazord is destroyed and the wolf curse is lifted, Shayla going to the unconscious Merrick. She runs off when she hears the Rangers approaching, for some reason. With Merrick back, they offer their hands.
Now you can help us fight the orgs. We can work together. I'm Taylor.
Welcome to the 21st century. I'm Max.
I'm Danny.
I'm Melissa.
I tried to destroy you. My hand isn't fit to touch yours.
And then this.
We have marched along together through the dark and stormy rain, and we face the fight together, sharing all the gain. We are always fighting together in these winning days of war.
Well, that's completely out of left field. Merrick appears to the two and says he wants to see Master Org, who conveniently shows up with General Nazor. He bows down to them at first, but then tries to attack Master Org, who easily disarms him. Merrick calls out for his animal Zords, but he can no longer hear them. Master Org fuses the crystals together to create a chimera entity. The Rangers, spotting that Merrick is in trouble, morph and head off to help him. The chimera is too much for them, and Merrick rises, charging right at the entity and screaming like a madman. Despite his brilliant strategy of yelling insanely, he's knocked aside. The Red Lion Zord roars, awakening Merrick's Zords and forming his morpher.
Well, Lexus! Howling Wolf!
The Lunar Wolf Ranger's weapon is, of course, a gun that becomes a sword, and becomes a... pool cue? However, it's not quite as impressive as other weapons due to its more cylindrical appearance as opposed to an actual blade. He summons the Predazord, now free of evil influence, and with the help of the Wild Force Megazord, they're able to defeat the combined entity and reclaim the stolen animals. In the process, Merrick destroys General Nazor. Merrick returns the crystals and walks off. In a flashback, we of course confirm that Merrick was Shayla's lover and was the same one who gave her the necklace. Merrick heads to a bar and naturally starts playing pool with his animal crystals because that's certainly the most disrespectful thing you could be doing with them. Some very rude bikers come in and we get a delightful scene of him beating them all up. The bartender brings him on as a bouncer and lets him stay at the bar's spare room. Merrick helps the Rangers with a new general org, Necronomica, but says he can't work with them. Why? I really have no idea. It made sense when he was repentant for what happened to Zenaku, but otherwise it's just bizarre. Shayla and Merrick reunite, but Merrick says he can't be with her because of their different roles in life. I have to say, that seems rather forced, what with him giving her the necklace and all, but what you gonna do? Drama and all that. They destroy Necronomica, but it turns out that it was Toxica who was enhanced thanks to a spell along with the last remaining piece of General Nazor. She assumed the power partially due to her fear of Master Org, since she's now dead certain that he isn't who they think he is. Afterwards, Merrick says he'll work with the others, but he doesn't want to go to the Animarium. Still, he gets his own unique team jacket. Master Org tortures Toxica for attempting to impersonate a general, Jindrak saving her from being completely destroyed. Alyssa gets the idea of cross-referencing the photo Cole has of his family with some library records, along with the complete picture and the article revealing that his parents are presumed dead. Toxica says that every time she's near Master Org, she can smell a human, and the two go down to his lair to find evidence. They find a copy of Cole's picture, including of Master Org as a human.
I am the master!
You're not my master!
Whoa! No way! You really are a human!
Huh, quick change staff. Cole goes to his family's graves.
I came all the way down here to find my parents. And all I have left are these gold stones.
Following that, we learn how Max joined the Rangers, helping save two girls from an org before being rescued himself by Taylor and Alyssa. A deer Zord comes to help the Rangers, one familiar to Merrick and Shayla, because they used to sing to it, along with horrible green screen shots of nature.
From your skies, the snow gently falls to the earth. From your trees, the birds nest and play. From your oceans, the fish school and travel the world. Oh, nature, please don't ever go away.
Do you people begin to understand why I miss Ron Wasserman so much? In a single filler episode, we get a fourfold of new weapons. The first is the Falcon Summoner bow and arrow weapon. Next is Cole's Battleizer, the Animarium armor. The Battleizer looks pretty damn good with bird wings, a chest plate, and the greaves I've always said feet armor should be. And finally there's the Red Falcon Zord, which joins with the deer, rhino, armadillo, and giraffe to form the Isis Megazord. It can fly and use its wings as a shield. The battle with Cole also reverts Toxica and Jindrax back to their old selves, who withdraw when they spot Master Org and plot their next move. So Taylor gets herself a new car and starts driving around really fast, until she's stopped.
I'm sorry, officer. You see...
Driver's license, please. Thank you.
So, did you give her a ticket?
Yep. I could just tell she was trouble.
Just your type.
You kidding?